Hey, good morning, everyone. Dan the Glassman here, and you are watching the THEGLASSCAST episode 10, guys. We finally made it. So today, what are we going to do? Well, I'm thinking that we are going to be blowing glass. We're going to be making some more hot air balloons. Oh, I don't have my hot air balloon on today. I should probably go grab that. That way we at least have it. And we're going to be having a little 420 session. We're going to be listening to a little bit of the Glassman. This is all my music. I own all the rights. I wrote all the music, all the lyrics, all mine, all me. This is called Oahu. We'll be talking about Maui and what's been going on out there and all the fires. And we'll make sure to also cover a lot of the different things that's been going on recently. Like the EMT who recently passed away in Lahaina, being remembered as someone who loved helping people. We have a lot of different things here on the Glassman's world. And yeah, we got a good show for you today. All right. So let me get some water here.
Was the first responder.
Let's pause this real quick.
Identified through a DNA.
So this microphone is not actually hooked up. We're going to set this over to the side here. This is all just for looks. Here, we'll set it right here, just like that. And it looks like we're hooked up and all ready to go. Just don't want it to roll off. All right. All right, guys. So that's Oahu by the Glassman. You can find that on YouTube right there. Oh, look, you can see outside. Beautiful blue skies today. Should probably clean that screen here. Let's clean this screen real quick with the Norwex OptiCloth. Oh, what happened there? Been a while since I cleaned it. I don't know if that looks any better. Still got a lot of. Let me clean that a lot better. Maybe get the Xylocloth to it. All right, you guys. So that's a little bit of the Glassman right there. A little bit of the Glassman for you right there. All right, so let's get started. We're gonna plug in the. Got to plug in the fan. Also, let's make sure that we got all the cords out of the way so nothing gets burned. Let me reach under here. All right. So we're testing out a whole new setup today, guys, for episode 10 of the cast. I always want to say glass craft. Because it is a craft, blowing glass. And I always want to say glass craft, but it's a, and also glass craft um, is a place where we order our glass from. So, got to give a shout out to Glass Craft for helping us out whenever we need to order from them and get our different colors and raw material and everything. Which actually, I just realized that we are getting really close to running out of our. Let me pause this real quick. We're running out of our material. The material that we normally use, or that I normally use for making. Let me turn on the kiln real quick. Make sure there's nothing in there. All right, so the kiln's all good. So we'll get that going. And we have this set up right here. So this is on the Maui Fires playlist. And today I kind of wanted to talk about several different things. We're gonna be blowing glass. We're making some hot air balloons and things. Which actually I do have to make an announcement that I actually got my glass balloons, the collection of 13 hot air balloons from 1972, the original balloons from 1972 that all went up, which I can probably show you. Let me reach over here real quick. Hopefully I don't drop anything as I'm grabbing stuff here. It's funny, everything starts falling down and we get big old loud bangs. Alright, I think that's safe there. Alright, so I do believe that I have, yep, right there. So let me show you this. This is the original 13, the collection of the original 13 balloons from 1972. And I created those and replicated those into glass. And I do not have them. So we got this whole entire collection right here. And I replicated that whole entire collection into glass. And so that's now sitting over at the Expo, New Mexico, at the New Mexico State Fair. And we're going to see how well, what kind of response I get over there. The first time that I've had my glass in the state fair. I did try to enter my glass long ago in 1997, and I don't even remember what I put in there, and if I put anything like worthy of an art show, I think I probably maybe just entered in some, let's enter some jewelry, or maybe I had some perfume bottles or something like that, and also maybe I was entering it to try to be a vendor. I don't really know or remember now that I'm thinking about it. I don't know how it was set up long ago, but I did enter in 97 and I was turned away. And that was only 2 years in, when I was just starting. I was just a newbie, just, barely starting, barely learning how to blow glass, how to work with borosilicate glass, and make all this cool stuff. And so now, here we are. It's 2023. I finally re-entered for the first time since then, and got the whole entire collection of the original 13 balloons in glass, which maybe I can figure out how to show you a collection here. Might be able to pull up some images and stuff. So we're going to attempt to use this screen behind me here, but I can see already that the screen It's actually really bright. And I tried to change the contrast and the brightness, and I don't think it's. Is that better? Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. We will be able to use it. Okay, let's bring the contrast all the way down. And then let's go back into the brightness. And we'll bring the brightness up. And maybe, just maybe, you guys will be able to read some of the words and things that are on here on the screen. Cool. All right, well, that might work a little bit better. I do see that we have a glare, so let's just slide that over just a little bit. Bam, look at that. Okay, cool. So we will be able to use this pretty good. I'm going to get these set up here. We're going to fuse these two pieces of glass together right now. And start what I need to do, since we're almost out of my rods. So basically I buy these by the case, and we're almost already out. Long ago, I think about 2 years ago, some of us received the stimulus checks. I received one of them, and actually was able to invest in some glass. I bought a case of glass, which has lasted me all the way until now. So for like 2 years, I've been working on this whole case of glass, and I was about to run out. I only have one rod left, and whatever that I cut the other day, 1 2/3 of a rod left, and that's it. But we're going to make some hot air balloons here. I'm just going to piece together some of these scrap pieces here, and we're just going to fuse them together. But as we're doing that, let's talk about what's going on. So I don't know if you guys have seen anything that's been happening out there in Burning Man over there in Black Rock City. Have you guys been paying attention to what's going on in Black Rock City? Let's actually take a look at that. I do believe that I can go to my history here, and I'm pretty sure I just watched the video just recently of just everyone trying to escape. You know, it's probably like a good 8 minutes or something like that. So yeah, let's see if we can find that here. And I don't remember which one. Nevada is suffering. Vehicles are all underwater. Burning Man. People are stuck after heavy floods. Oh, you know, one thing, doctors are saying that muddy weekend at Burning Man, why doctors say burners need to wash off mud as soon as possible. They're saying, you know, with all the, well, from what I understand, all the stuff coming out of the porta potties, you know, it's just gross. All kinds of people just stuck there. One individual, one man, I believe a 23-year-old man, they found him, he's not surviving Burning Man. Drone video shows large caravan. I think this is, yeah, this might be it right here. Here, I'm just going to play this in the background, and we'll probably mute it because all it is just helicopter helicopter noise. Anyways, yeah, this is 8 minutes right here, so we'll just mute this and we'll bring this up on the full screen here, and you guys can see what's what's going on out there in Black Rock City. I'm like, dang, that's the longest delay I've ever seen, huh? All right. Yeah, and my computer's running off a little tiny laptop in the back there, so I'm just using it just for like a little extra here. But there's all kinds of people just stuck, and it's pretty bad. All right, so we'll just let that play. There's at least I don't know, 17,000 or 70,000. I don't know how many people are out there. Maybe 17,000 people. I think there were 18,000 total, and 1,000 of them have escaped before the floods really came in, and then the water took over. And I've seen images. I can actually show you images here in just a moment of there's a Jeep, like a Wrangler, completely just stuck in the mud. I was like, oh no, that's a permanent fixture of Burning Man right there. They're gonna come back next year and people will be camping in it. They'll turn it into like they'll light it up with Christmas lights, right? And people will be sitting in it. It'll become a new video game or something crazy, the new Burning Man adventure. And they'll put a simulation screen of you escaping out of the mud, and you can just like pretend you're driving. There's your idea right there. If you guys want to take it, I don't care. I don't got time to make that stuff. It'll take me forever to even research how to make any sort of simulation and then piece it together. But that'd be a fun thing if you computer geeks out there, you programmers, app developers, and all you guys. And when I say computer geeks, like that is in the highest regards, because you guys are amazing at what you do. I wish I was a computer geek. I wish I could geek out on computers, man. Oh my God. My father, he was an electrician, and he tried to teach me some things, but he was an electrician during the times of like Commodore 64, All right, so that's how you fuse the glass right there. We'll just stick that together. But yeah, so these guys that are in the background, they're talking about how there's so many, they call them burners. They call themselves burners. Just people who go out to Burning Man every year. They're hardcore. And some people got out, and some people decided to stay. Now, what I understand is they actually they did the burn last night. So they started departing around 3 p.m. I don't know what day this was. But yeah, man, people got stuck out there. And they turned it into a national or federal emergency. Now, the one thing that I think is pretty messed up is, and I understand they're stuck in the mud out there and they don't have any supplies or any food and this and that, right? But what's going on with no national emergency declared or federal emergency declared for Maui, for Lahaina, for all those individuals out there? What's going on with that? How come they're jumping on Burning Man as being a national emergency, a disaster basically, but yet the whole town of Lahaina has completely been wiped out and it's not a federal emergency? So what's going on with that, guys? It's quite interesting. And we got Burning Man over here distracting us from what's going on with Lahaina, Maui, and all of that also distracting us from what's been going on with East Palestine, Ohio. And all of that distracting us from what's been going on with the Hermit's Peak fire here in New Mexico, and all of that distracting us from what happened over there in Boulder, Colorado, and those spot fires everywhere, and everything distracting us from, there's so many different distractions or different events compiled on top of one another, to where it becomes so hard to actually follow what's really going on. It's like there's, this is going on over here, this is going on over there, like, and then in world news events, you got, I don't know how many individuals in China are getting hurt, and the whole world basically turned their back on China and basically blamed them for everything. Just like Spain got blamed for the Spanish flu, even though it wasn't that they were the ones who created it, or they're the reasons for it. They were just the country that isolated it and declared it as a pandemic, and everyone else then started calling it the Spanish flu, and then it became like, oh well, it's all because of all because of the Spaniards. It's like, well, you can blame it on the Spaniards, but also what a lot of people never learned was that Dr. Fauci wrote a paper about the Spanish flu, and how 75% of those fatalities were attributed because of the everyone wearing masks. And back in those days, like, they didn't have the N95, they didn't have any kind of really good surgical masks or anything like that. They didn't have the proper care and cleanliness as maybe we do today. But then again, that's also a matter of perspective, because nowadays everything's just full of chemicals. All your laundry detergent, all of your dryer sheets and your softeners and all of that. And so that's all a matter of perspective and a matter of opinion on that. We're cleaner nowadays than back then, but at the same time, a lot of people, they didn't have disposable masks, right? So they're wearing around the same mask over and over again, and they probably maybe weren't wearing them to the best of what, like our washer machines, I think, are a little bit better nowadays than back then, except back in those days, everything was hand wash, and hand wash may actually be better than a washer machine. I don't know. I've never done that comparison. Has anyone done that comparison? We could probably try to find that on YouTube right here. But it's so crazy. These people are just stuck in the mud. It's like, man. But then again, while these people are stuck in the mud, right? And they're like, oh, it's okay. A lot of burners are still out there having fun. Like I said, they just did the burn, and they burned all three. I guess they have 3 different burns on 3 different nights, and because it all got rained out, they decided, well, let's just burn it all at once. And so they burnt, well, maybe not all at once, but one after the other on one night. And so they made sure that they got all the rest of the burners out there in the playa, in that clay, in the mud. And if the doctors are saying that they need to wash this stuff off right away, that there's burners out there having fun, making the world's largest slip and slides, swinging people around in the mud, having wrestling matches in the mud, doing all kinds of stuff in the mud, right? And not even worrying about, they don't know about the doctors. They're not watching these videos and paying attention to what the news is saying right now. They're not going to know until they get home. And then there's another thing that's been going on, right? First they said that there's that individual, I believe he's a 23-year-old, who succumbed. No one knows why. The cause still has not been declared. And so all we know is that they said it had nothing to do with the weather. So it wasn't because of the floods, and it wasn't because of the weather. So what was it? Now, there have been some reports on possible Ebola outbreaks happening out there. And let me actually stop right here with glass. We'll get this all set up. Excuse me. I've been coughing, you guys, like forever. Like for as long as maybe I first got COVID. I don't know about you guys, but do you guys have like some kind of like a heaviness of, just constantly having to cough it up and clear your throat over and over and over again? Let me know in the comments below or in the live comments here. Because it's just something I've seen like been dealing with a lot. And then also, you're gonna see me always like scratching my arms from time to time. But I should have brought my body cloth. My Norwex body cloth really works, as well as using like CBD and THC oil. That really works phenomenal. I actually need to use some of that here soon. So let's make sure we haven't gone anywhere past. So okay, so we're at the end here, and they have a recorder out there, and this individual, he's basically talking about, yeah, we've heard about this individual who succumbed, and no one knows what's going on. The police came, and then they were gone real quickly, so they cleared up that situation right away, and everything else is fine and going well. And so he's reporting like there's nothing going on, and that just individuals are just taking off, and it's quite interesting. So let me just bring this down, and we're gonna make that smaller. But let me show you this, because this is one thing that I don't know if this is real or speculation. But look at that right there. And tell me what you guys think. I don't know if that's real. We can try to confirm it right now live to see if they did post this on the CDC. So what it says, Ebola outbreak confirmed at Black Rock City, Nevada. It is recommended that all Burning Man attendees remain in their dwellings until further notice. Current state of emergency in progress. Learn more at that bit.ly site. So I don't know if we should go to the bit.ly site. I don't know if that's going to take us to some kind of weird thing or not, or what. But there's been a health advisory, right? And then let me see if I can. Oh, let me find the other one here. Oh yeah, here's that Jeep. That Jeep is crazy. Look at how deep that is. There's another picture of it too. Look at that. It's stuck in the mud. So yeah, these guys are just stuck. Okay, check this out right here. It says woke AF. A private jet from Burning Man lands at LAX and get quarantined on runway, and airport evacuated. And then it's got a bunch of hashtags. So, I don't know if that's real. And then this right here, there's like a text message. It talks about some guy. I can try to read it upside down. Yo, I can't read it. Oh, yo, just something. All right, here, let me read it right here. Did you see the tail thing he got put in? Question mark. Yo, just figured you should hear from me first. Daryl is crazy sick with something that has him coughing up really coagulated blood. Medic showed up wearing a full suit. No idea where he is now. I would stay inside your camper. Are you effing serious? Grendel told me they're putting up a fence on the west side of the playa. Who is? Outside an agency. Can he describe them? This was read at 5:25 by someone named Burashi. So I don't know if this is real or if it's been confirmed or denied or what. But these are the things that we've been hearing about. And what's crazy is okay, there's floods, right? Floods are going on, and then the federal government declares Burning Man to be a federal emergency, but yet they have not done so for Lahaina, Maui. It's like, what's going on with that? Why wouldn't they do that? You know? Oh yeah, and I guess this is what he said about that they were going to be staying laser focused, right, on getting aid to the survivors, laser focused, and he said that like 3 or 4 times in that thing. Someone sent me this. It's like, remember this movie? And how that kid genius like created some sort of a laser weapon from space or Star Wars or something. Like, oh yeah, I remember that. All right, that's something. Space Force. Oh yeah, Space Force being out there. You guys know about all the blue, right? Out there, all the blue that got or didn't get harmed somehow. And then there's this report here. Pacific Partnership meeting on August 8th through the 10th. So the day that it happened in Honolulu, Hawaii. And this is what was going on and why everyone was, I guess, not on the island or worrying about what was going on because they were doing this. All right, let me see what else I got for you here. Some of this stuff I can't even read. Oh yeah, that's going around right now. If you guys should really pay attention to what you're eating. Be careful of what you're eating. But I don't know what that is. Press Independent News. I don't know what that is. Some crazy new species discovered. That's crazy in the ocean. That looks pretty alien, right? Look at that thing. Woo! That is creepy, right? Okay, hurricane. Oh, and then we have Hurricane Hillary, right? That took out a bunch of people. Now a bunch of people are having issues. Okay, now this individual right here. We've been following him. And he's been getting some issues. So Hawaii real estate. So he's the individual from Lahaina, Hawaii, from Maui, and he's been doing all the work, boots on the ground. Now I want to talk about this individual. We're going to shut this off for a moment. We don't need to be wasting all that. But I do want to make a balloon. I do want to make a balloon before we finish this up, and I try to keep this at about an hour and not go too much longer. So we got about 30 minutes, and I've covered pretty much everything I wanted to as far as the what's going on in Burning Man and how they're talking about that there is a federal emergency over there, but yet there's not one in Maui. Now, Hawaii News Real Estate. This individual, I have him on a playlist here, so we can easily just go over to my channel, The Glassman's World. Be sure to subscribe to The Glassman's World. You can get all the notifications on when I go live. I never know when I do the glass cast here, and a lot of times also I just go live and start blowing glass. So sometimes you might catch me just making something really cool that I just decide, hey, let's make this and let's just go live. And now we got this new setup here, the screen, and got the microphone going. I think you guys can hear me a little bit better in front of the fan and the torch, because I know that hiss is pretty bad. All right, so at the Glassman's World, make sure you subscribe. Um, make sure that you always go to the live. Always go to the live tab here, and then the playlist is the Maui Fire playlist. And the playlist here, and also go to the community tab to check out what I've been posting in recent days and stuff. And so let's get to the playlist here. And then you'll get to, I guess I've added some things here, so now they've kind of taken over. Maui Fires is usually up front, but I've got Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta 2023, a view from above. We've got some videos going up there. Crazy Albuquerque. So that's a new playlist that I added to my playlist here. And if you want to just see some stuff that I find, I just start recording while I'm in Albuquerque. But the Maui Fires playlist, let's go to view playlist. Let's see how many videos. I'm pretty sure we're over 200 now. Probably pushing 250 at this point. And so on the Maui Fires playlist, I highly recommend you checking out Hawaii Real Estate, Eric West. He's boots on the ground. He's been able to get onto the ground of Lahaina and be able to get like drone footage and just walking in and getting footage right away before the new police or the new feds or whoever these people are. No one knows who they are, and they haven't really identified themselves. They just say they're some sort of officers. I think they're Homeland Security is what they are. So they're a bunch of like federal security guards. They're just security guards, but they're federal. So it's like, if you get deputized by a sheriff, well then you got a lot of power. All right, so we are up to 234 videos. So like I said, we're getting really close to that 250, 401 views. So thank you guys. We're actually got more views than we have videos. That's beautiful, because before it was flip-flop the other way. I've added a lot of new things. I do not know. I don't think I can zoom in with the camera here. I'm really sorry. So I really wish that I can show you this, and I can't just grab the screen and bring it this way. That'd be really nice, wouldn't it? So we got the. Maybe I can bring the view bigger here. Let's play around while we're live. Kind of makes things a little bit bigger. Well, that then brings it to the top right there. All right, well, let's see what that does. So the Maui Fires playlist here, I don't know if you can see that, 234 views, or 234 videos, 401 views. I don't know if I have any shares or not. And you can basically play all, it'll play, I think, from the last one I've loaded up. But this one here, an EMT passed away in Lahaina. He's being remembered as someone who loved helping people. I have not watched this one yet, and I would really like to watch this. I don't know if we should watch this together or not. Ron Yates, he's an individual that I've been following. Um, oh, 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 shit. Maui caught them on camera. Oprah Winfrey footage leak. Sick plot to profit. All right. The people hear you, Eric West, how one man has faced the enemy and how we can help. So Starkey Farmstead, I have not heard this individual. I haven't watched his videos yet. But last night, and I don't know if I have it on here or not, but last night, my wife showed me a video of Maui, of Eric West, basically calling it quits. It's a lot to handle, guys. To be the one, the main individual who's getting all the information and everything, to be that person, to get it all out there, you got the whole world watching. Like, I told him, like, when he went to go talk to those police, I try to comment on him. When I do comment, I am trying to let him know that I'll put it in caps. As an acting self-proclaimed member of the council, because he wants to put together a council. So I'm like, I'll be an acting member of the council from way over here. I'll do my due diligence to share out as much information as I can, get this information out to all of you, ask you guys to share this information out, right? And so last night, and he might have already deleted it, but we'll go to his channel here, Hawaii Real Estate, and then we'll go see what videos he's got here. And I don't know if that was a live. That might have been a live. I don't know if that one was it. The historic announcement of Maui fire funerals. I don't believe so. He might have removed it because he was apologizing for everything he had said on there. He didn't want backlash to come back to Keller Williams. Apparently, they're firing him and his son because of what they're doing, and because Keller Williams is now getting some sort of, I don't know, like they're getting backlash from people asking him what Eric's doing and if he's trying to like steal the property or do this and that, if he's someone that they should trust and all these things. And so Keller Williams, instead of like backing him up and being like he's a man of God, he's doing this for the people, we believe in Eric, he was our number one sales realtor of the year last year, and no, they're not going to talk about any of that. All they're going to say is we're sorry that it's created any issues or cause for you or any concerns, and we'll deal with this matter in the way we see fit. And the way they see fit is they're basically firing or letting them go Eric West and his son Cody West, I believe is his last name as well. And they I can't believe that Keller Williams Realty in Maui, Lahaina specifically, I don't know if it's all of Maui, they do not back up what he's been doing and that he's trying to help the people. And it's horrible. So he created a video. It's gone. They also are They're now trying to get rid of all the funds because people are saying that he's raised like close to $1 million all by himself. Him and Cody raised close to $1 million all by themselves, right? And they're giving it back to the people. There's all these videos here of him giving back to the people. He talks to people, he interviews them, and then he gives back to them. Just straight up. He's just like, here, give back, give back, give back. He talks to the people directly, and he gives back all this money. He's taken $30,000 out of his own bank account to get it to the people before they were able to even get the money from GoFundMe. Because GoFundMe always they decide to like hold people's funds back and stuff like that. And so I thought we lost Eric. I was like about to cry. I was like, no, man, like you are the only one out there that's really trying to do anything for these people. And yes, I know it's scary. And I saw the other day when I went to his channel and I saw just, that little wholesome picture of him and his wife, and I just see this wholesome picture of Hawaii real estate. And it's just, just him and his wife right there. And it's just a nice little, cool little page, right? And I'm just thinking, man, this is what he's getting into. It's so heavy. It's extremely heavy. This is world-changing history going on. This is like 9/11 all over again, Standing Rock all over again. This is like one of the biggest devastations in U.S. history. And all they're talking about is that, this could possibly be the deadliest fire in U.S. history. And they've been saying this forever, right? But they've been keeping the death toll at 115. Except just recently, they just talked about that now I think it's up to like 480. And possibly they may have brought up the numbers to 7 times the numbers that they were hearing. So 7 times the number, 7 times 115. Well, if you can do the math real quickly, let's just say 7 times 100, that's 700, right? And then times 15, well, that's, easily another 100. That's 800 easily. Let's just estimate it. And that's the numbers that we're now talking about. If it's correct, if they're truly saying that it is at 800. And now, what I've been saying is it's got to reach at least 2,200, you guys. If they're claiming since like day one that this was at first on like day one or the first weekend or the first week, they were saying that this was the second largest fire in U.S. history. Second deadliest fire in U.S. history. And then within the second week of it all, they just claim, oh, no, this is the number one deadliest fire in U.S. history. So I go do a little research. I find out Chicago fire actually isn't. I was like, whoa, I thought it was the Chicago fire, the Great Chicago Fire. What we've all heard about, right? No, lo and behold, there's another place in the history books called the Testigo Fire. And Testigo actually burnt down I don't know how many acres, and all these people, all these lumber woodworkers, people who worked in the lumber industry, and the whole entire town pretty much, I don't know how many residents they had. I think it was like maybe 1,800 was the number of residents that they had. And the toll reached upward of 2,200. They said that at least 1,100 or 1,200 of the individuals of the 1,700 perished in the fire. And that the others were just from like other places or other regions outside of Testigo. And so they claimed that it was at least 1,600 to 2,200 that succumbed in this fire. That's the number one deadliest fire in U.S. history. In the books, as of right now, But for some reason, they're already claiming that that Lahaina is the #1 deadliest fire in U.S. history already. So when I'm thinking of the numbers, I'm like, okay, well, if that is the case, and if that is going to be the reality, then we are going to have to brace ourselves for a number reaching and far exceeding probably 2,200. And it's sad to say. That is so sad to say, guys. I can't believe that that's what's going to be happening. That's going to be the number. So I don't even know, like, what. Like, there's not more to say there. That's going to be what it is, and we're just going to have to bear with the reality of the situation. And it's so sad. I mean, it's gross that all these officials that are supposed to be there as they conduct all the emergency, the medical, all the policing, everything. They drop the ball big time or purposely put the ball down and didn't do their job. It's real sad, guys. And with all of this stuff going on, I got to remind you all that there has been they've coined it as the poly-pandemic or poly-crisis, meaning many crises or many pandemics all at once. And this was something that they were talking about a year or so ago, and I picked up on it, and I was like, oh, okay. So that means that we need to get prepared. And this was in 2022 when I picked up on it, and I even created a playlist on YouTube called The Poly Pandemic of 2023. And there's been stuff since 2022 going on there, and then this whole year of 2023. So you guys can go and check out that playlist and see for yourself what's on there. And you can decide for yourselves. I'm not going to tell you what to believe and what you should and shouldn't believe and what's truth and what's not. We're all grown individuals here. And if there's any children watching, well, just go talk to your parents about this. You know, it's as simple as that. We don't need to have all these huge debates or anything. We just put the information out there. We let you basically be a grown-up about it, or go and get a grown-up's help with it, and then you can figure it all out on your own. And everyone's going to formulate all kinds of different opinions or formulate their own different ideas of what is going on or has been going on. And yes, that is going to happen, and we're going to have to just bear with it and deal with that. And you know, I always want to believe that truth will always prevail. That's what I believe. I believe truth will always prevail, and it's just going to take time, because truth is also always hidden in fiction, and it takes a keen eye and a lot of wisdom and knowledge to be able to pick out all of that truth that's been hidden in fiction and be able to determine what they're trying to hide and how they're trying to hide things. So one thing is right now is with all this stuff, the poly crisis, poly pandemic, all this stuff that's going on, we got to remember that we are still in this pandemic. It hasn't gone away. We're still living in these new orders in this new world. We're still living in these new ordinances or proclamations. You know, there's a new proclamation that's going around the island of Maui, emergency proclamation, which we actually have the PDF for, and maybe we'll do another podcast and cover all of that and what's going on. But yes, we do have a PDF of the proclamation, the emergency proclamation. We can then verify whether or not Eric West was lied to by the police or not, whether they have any sort of jurisdiction on telling people that they cannot pull over on the side of a public highway for any reason. Like, what if they break down? What if they run out of fuel? Are they going to get cited? Like, what kind of charges are these? Is this just a ticket? Is this a small citation? Is this a federal crime, a federal offense? Is this going to be considered like terrorist charges like they did up in Standing Rock with individuals? Like, what is it that they're really going to do? You know? And a lot of people aren't paying attention to what's going on out there because everyone's paying attention to so many other things because of this whole poly-pandemic or poly-crisis that we've been facing here. And I got to remind you all that we are still in this pandemic, and we are now about to go through something they've been saying mid-September. That's only a week away, guys. Mid-September, they're saying that we're going to have lockdowns again. The masks are coming back. People are already wearing masks around. Different buildings, health facilities, they're now requiring their nurses to wear masks. The time that I went to go visit my father in the assisted living facility he's in, they came around. They're like, "Oh, we got to start doing these swabs again." It's like, man, people don't understand the microneedling, right? The MN, the microneedling that are within these swabs and how they actually inject you with stuff. Like, you guys need to really educate yourselves on what's going on and learn about microneedling with the swabs, with the nasal swabs, and how they're able to inject you with things as they claim that they're just testing you. So that's going on right now. There's something else that's going out there right now. A new variant that they're saying we need to be careful for. And so now lockdowns are going to start happening again, guys, in the mid-September. And I'm wondering, okay, well, we got these things that they're talking about with Ebola, right? And the CDC even announced that Ebola coming out over there in Black Rock City. And then you're thinking, what? Black Rock City? If you understand Black Rock and its connections and Black Rock's connections with Lahaina, Maui, and like, what about all these other places, like where Hurricane Hillary just went up through Baja? That's another thing, is the whole Mountain Dew direct energy weapons. I just shared a video on my Facebook page this morning. I will share it on my community page here of our state, New Mexico. We do a lot of stuff. We're known for the atomic bombs here. We're known for, having Dulce, New Mexico, having Sandia National Labs, Kirtland Air Force Base, White Sands, the Trinity bomb site, Hangar 18, all kinds of different stuff here, right? So they just, they announce things like it's nothing here. For the rest of the world, for a lot of other individuals, they'll try to claim it as, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist and this and that, right? And I'm just like, well, I'm not conspiring with anyone, so I don't know how it can be a conspiracy if I'm not conspiring, right? And it's not a theory, it's a fact, especially when they put it up on the news and they talk about it and they show it in plain sight. Maybe I can actually find it real quick and just show you that I don't remember which That's the thing is I'm not going to say unless I know specifically, but the channel was one of the laboratories here or something like that. And they were just doing a testing. That's all it was. And they were talking about the directed energy weapons. They were using that term. So DEWs do exist, directed energy weapons. They are real. They do exist. They're here testing them in New Mexico. And they're talking about how they can use a laser, right, to pinpoint and start to heat up an object, right? And then they're using another technology, microwaves, that then allows the heated object to then boom, just. I should try to find that. Well, I don't know if I watched it on. Here, let's go back to my history. We'll go to the history playlist here. Let me just see if I can find it real quick. And let me not forget I'm making this. We don't want this to break. Let me just add the loop real quick. This thing takes forever anyways. Alright, so let me show you what I've been doing actually. So we added some color around. You see that? It's got that beautiful balloon look to it. I used a little red and a little purple. And now I'm going to choose where I'm going to put the loop. The colors are so dark, they look the same. I'm like, which one am I going to? When I was making the glow-in-the-dark ones, they have that white that's really distinct, so I can tell where the colors are. But this one, it was kind of hard to see that. All right. So let me see if I can find this real quick. Let's go back to the history. And we'll see if I can get that video of the directed energy weapon video here from New Mexico, and that way I can just prove to you guys that, you know, when we talk about these things, they are not fake. It's not some sort of conspiracy theory. You know, we're living it here. We're right up the street from Kirtland Air Force Base, where they're doing testing all the time. We hear all kinds of explosions and all kinds of like sirens going off like throughout the day. It's no big deal here. You know, they got military planes flying over, flying low. We got those big old helicopters that they got the propellers that move, and so they can take off like this and then take off that way. I don't know what they're called. These big old like Hellcats, or I don't know what they are. And let's watch the history. Okay. All right. So I know I watched it this morning, so it's got to be on here. I'm pretty sure. And maybe it was on. Oh no, White Sands Missile Range. There you go. White Sands Missile Range, right? You guys heard about White Sands? It tests things all the time out there. Here, I'll even bring the volume up on this one for you guys. Here, let me finish this so I don't break this. Before we get started, that way you guys can see what's going on. Or actually, here, let me just play it, whatever. The full screen anyways. I'll try to make it smaller. So that's what the vehicles look like there. They got these like kind of devices up in the front. Up. They mean to hit that. Must have hit something. And I must have pressed pause. Alright, let me just make it full screen here. And as that's happening, we're just going to let it play. And then I'll come back to it and we'll let the audio play through as I'm finishing this balloon here. So you can kind of see what they're doing. That's an image of them heating it up, and then, like I said, they acquire the target with the laser, they heat it, then they use the microwave to basically zap it right out of the sky. So this is all real. We don't make these things up, guys. I don't talk about anything unless, I've seen, like, for some reason, someone sent me an image, sent me something, and I'm like, okay, well, let me look into this. And then there's more information about it and more information about it. And then it's like, okay, well, seems pretty real. Like this. This is from White Sands missile testing, right? Like, they're not going to put something out there. Like, this is also, if they're putting this out there today, like now, or however, I'll see, like, how soon that they uploaded it, right? But whenever they put this up, they've been doing this stuff for decades. They're just now allowing the public to know about this technology. So you got to then think, for the last few decades that we've been alive and all these interesting events have occurred and all this stuff just happening just randomly, things just, buildings collapsing or things coming out of the sky or whatever, Savannah or right, the Havana syndrome, or just like any kind of stuff that we've heard about. There's at least a few decades that they've been using this kind of technology before they're finally announcing it to us, to the general public. That's guaranteed. They didn't come out with the stealth bomber until 50 years later and finally letting us know, which they're only claiming that, that's also the thing. They're claiming that they've had it for 50 years. We don't know. Who knows? We don't know. We just know what they're telling us. We don't know. So that's the thing here is in New Mexico, we've got this technology. We're just used to it here. We're the land of mañana, everyone just kicks back, all mañana, like way kicked back, like if they're living on the island of Maui. There's a lot of people out there that's got that mentality of just, they're like way lackadaisical, completely just like chilling. They're just chilling. They ain't got any worries or any cares, right? They're living on Maui, right? They have no clue, no concern what's going on with these 2,000 children missing. No one's paying attention that there might be these buses that were on the map, on Bing Map, the day before the fire, and then they disappeared the day after the fire on Google Maps. And if you go to Google Maps, you can see an image of the buses actually driving down the street. It's like, well, there wasn't any school in session, so they weren't transporting students, or were they? Did they actually get the children out and then move them to a different location? Undisclosed location. Why are there not a whole lot of parents mourning for these children. Is it because there are no more parents of these children? Are all the parents of the missing children also have been, are they also perished and deceased? These are real questions that no one can answer. And yet, there is speculation and allegations that many more people had seen, many more body bags filled, and many more individuals have been accounted for that are deceased. But yet they're not talking about those numbers, or they're just now barely bringing the number up from 115 to now we're at maybe 480, or what one channel claims is it's 7 times as many as what they're stating, which is at least 800 individuals, guys. All right, there's a balloon for you right there. I'm going to drop that in the kiln. I got to be real careful. If I drop this, if it falls anywhere, it's hot. It can catch things on fire. We got to be real careful. Make sure I don't drop it on anything until I can get it into the kiln there. All right, so let's talk about this now. We got a balloon done. Wanted to make sure you guys at least got a demonstration while we're doing the glass cast here. That's usually what I try to do, is just blow glass and then talk about things on the glass cast. So let's replay this with the volume. We're going to unmute this and we're going to replay. Gotta love the music.
Looking at exploring the capabilities that directed energy has to offer against counter-UAS, so counter-unmanned aircraft system threats, small and portable systems. The Air Force has 3 major areas: air-based defense, precision engagement, and aircraft self-protection. This is the first, probably near-term low-hanging fruit that we can actually get after as we start opening up the bottleneck for directed energy, transitioning it from the S&T side of the house to operationalize. Yeah, so we have a high-power microwave system and a high-energy laser system. Both came out. We looked at and are exploring the capabilities that both have to offer independently, as well as a joint look in engagement. So your laser engagement is really going to be a thermal energy disposition on the target. So you require the energy to heat up on that target to be able to destroy it.
So you heard the laser comment. Most of the time we actually hit that and it actually burns a hole. Kinetic effect where it actually blasts it out of the sky because of that burn hole. With high-powered microwave, it may be a little different. It may just interrupt the actual performance, and the weapon system will have to go back to where it came from. It may actually do enough damage that it loses its control, so like an autopilot. And it loses that autopilot and it's wrong. Coming back from Afghanistan last year in October, I was at a base where we had a lot of unmanned systems sitting over and watching everything we do. And so for the future, our airmen would like to not be monitored 24/7. And this will push that back, so we don't have that monitoring capability.
This is moving past a tech demonstration to prove out technical feasibility. This is really looking at exploring the doctrine, the policy, the training necessary when we go out and take these systems in the field. Do we have the right concepts of operation, the tactics, techniques, and procedures in place to actually use these systems?
Yeah, I think the important part of experimentation, you hear valley of death, where we have technology in the lab, we don't always get it out to operating units. This experimentation bridges that valley of death, gets it out to the operators earlier on so they can experiment with it and understand it before it's actually performed. And the Whisper Range is just a phenomenal setup and a location that we want to continue to use just because of the proximity of the equipment that you've got and the capabilities it brings to directed energy experimentation.
All right, you guys, so there you go. So what they were saying was that they've been using the laser technology in order to basically like pinpoint on it and to heat it up, right? Now there were some I believe some firefighters or individuals while they were like fighting some of the fires, some of the recent really large wildfires like the Hermit's Peak fire and the Paradise City fire in California. They, I guess, claimed that they saw some sparks, like sparks coming off the trees, like an arc welder. I don't know if you saw how bright that was. And let me try to just give you a little bit better. There you go. That's a little bit better. So you see how it's so bright, like an arc welding right there? And then as soon as they turn on the microwave, then it just goes boom. And then the whole thing just falls out of the sky. So, is it possible that they did this in Lahaina? Yes, it's definitely possible. Whether or not we can prove it, one thing that I heard is that we could actually get some of the video, and that's the thing is there's now people's videos that are getting removed off the internet or getting just disappearing from the cloud, right? But if there is any video and any individuals who are tech savvy and they can actually put a filter on the videos, like an IR filter or something like that, you might be able to see if there's any sort of lasers coming through. You might be able to somehow enhance the video to where maybe, I don't know if this is it here. Yeah, to where, it's something. I think this one was maybe enhanced or someone actually caught a laser going over a city there. But if we can actually get someone to do technology like that, I don't know any idea on how you can do that. It could be as simple as just finding a program online and being all here. Put an IR or an IRF filter on it, and then you'll be able to actually see if there's any sort of beams of light or anything coming through in that way. But with that being said, I'm going to let y'all go. Watching this here and seeing that they have the actual technology, this stuff is real. I want you to make sure you get to the Glassman's World. Be sure that you like my channel here. That way you can get all the notifications. Anytime I'm going live, I'll probably continue blowing glass here. Maybe we'll record it and continue with the live feed later. And we'll continue making hot air balloons and things like that. Let me show you this real quick before we go. This is one of the last pieces that I made recently. Beautiful turtle. This is the Aloha Spirit Turtle. It's got a loop right there so you can actually wear it. It's a beautiful piece like that. And I do believe that I'm going to give that away to anyone, everyone, well, not everyone, to the one individual who, well, you got to make sure you subscribe to all of my social media so that way you're getting all of the announcements. Make sure that you like this video and you go find the Facebook post that I have of the call to action here, where basically I'm going to be giving this away to the person who shares, who tags 10 individuals on that post, shares out my information. Make sure that you subscribe to the Glassman's World, and whoever does all of those things and continuously tags individuals and shares individuals over and over and over again will win this. And I'll probably make more, and we'll just continuously give out the Aloha Spirit Turtle to individuals who are helping to get this information out about Lahaina, Maui. There is a peaceful protest starting on 9/11, September 11th. And that'll be at 8:08 a.m. That is Lahaina, Maui time. So in Maui, they will start a peaceful protest. They'll probably open up with prayer and maybe a water ceremony, drum circle, and maybe even do fire ceremony and doing other different ceremonies, earth ceremony, air ceremony. And I would love that we here in Albuquerque and you, wherever you are throughout the world, or at least throughout the United States, if we can all come together, united in one common unity, and basically come together in a peaceful protest to stand in solidarity with Lahaina, Maui, and all of the victims, pray for the children that are still missing, and to raise awareness that we need $3.5 billion, that's with the B, $3.5 billion in order to pay off all the mortgages from Lahaina so the deeds can be placed back into the hands of the property owners so there will be no buyback. So then that way the banks cannot foreclose on anyone, because right now the people are having a hard time with finding jobs, finding employment, being able to pay off anything right now. All they care about is whether they can get food, water, shelter, have their children close to them, which is probably number one, and any of those things first, and then maybe enroll their kids in school. Right now, there's a lot of children who are unenrolled, and that's where the number of 2,000 missing children comes from. They're unaccounted for because they're not re-enrolled in school. So we need to find out if there are children who maybe they're not going to school anymore. Maybe they've already moved away from the island. Maybe they just aren't worrying about school this year, or right now this semester, or this first 9 weeks, right? Maybe they'll re-enroll soon when their parents can figure out what's going on, how they're going to be able to have a stable life once again. And so let's all come together in solidarity for these individuals. Let's pray for them. Let's help them raise funds. Let's help raise this awareness that $3.5 billion is what is needed so we can save Lahaina. Hashtag save Lahaina, guys. Hashtag stop the Jump Smart Maui project. Hashtag whatever it is that you need to do. Let's save Lahaina. Let's save Maui. Buy back Lahaina. All these different hashtags. Water is life. Every drop counts. I'm here with you guys. I'm standing with you, Eric. If you're watching this, Eric West, allow me to be part of one of the members of your council, and I can do this kind of work from here, spreading the awareness, spreading the aloha, the love, and allowing people to give through the what is it called? Let's Fill the Gap, LFGMaui.org, LFG.org or LFGMaui.org. Let's fill the gap. Let me help you fill the gap from all the way over here from the southwest desert of Albuquerque, New Mexico. All right, you guys. Love and blessings to you all. I'm going to let you go. I'm going to continue working here, though. But you guys have a beautiful day. This has been episode 10 of the GlassCast. Hopefully all things worked out here. You were able to see some of this. I think that maybe we need to work on the camera and getting some. It's not very very clear. You can't really see it. So maybe we need to bring this a little bit forward. I don't know how much closer I could get it to, because it's right here. If I bring it any closer, it's going to be on my shoulders. All right, you guys. Well, love and blessings. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Dan the Glassman. This is the Glassman's World, and I am out.